we have all the morning essentials,
including the latest news, sports, weather, and events. And of course, the people.
Daybreak Africa on Television Nigeria.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Everybody, this is Daybreak Africa. I hope you all slept fine. My name is Messi Joe.
And my name is Elvis Oga.
Good morning. It's a bright and beautiful Wednesday morning.
Yes. I actually say that you're repping the Women Crush Wednesday.
Oh my God, I don't want to get too excited.
Okay, a whole lot to be discussed this morning.
Yes.
Speculations and then COVID-19 figures. Like, that's the era we find ourselves. So we can't just do without talking about those things.
COVID-19. Please let our people go. New cases 146 new cases in Nigeria, total of 4,787 cases now in Nigeria.
I remember you telling me that you're a bit worried that probably maybe by the end of the week, if there's no graceful intervention by the Almighty, we might be hitting the
5,000 button again, and
it's quite sad.
It's quite a very sad one. So it looks like our figures are following Ghana's total cases and figures. But I think at the end of the day, the responsibility still boils down to Nigerians, to ourselves, how we're not really taking these guidelines very seriously and all of that. And I think Kaduna State Governor, he has quarantined 50 persons who violated the interstate travel ban. So I think he put about 20-something on Sunday to launch the quarantine center for offenders, and then yesterday he quarantined another 20-something, total to 50 persons now in the quarantine center.
And we keep talking about it from this platform that all these things that the government is trying to do is just to help us so that we stop the spread of this deadly virus.
Yes.
Because when we stop moving, the virus stop moving. Whenever we move, there's that high risk of transmitting it or contracting it from one person to another. Remember that we are now at the community transmission stage, and I hope it has actually been happening concerning the COVID-19. We got report that the guidelines or the ease of the lockdown will be reviewed this week, which will further inform the next decision that will be taken, either if we are going back to the lockdown
or we're still going to
this way.
And then probably maybe other measures will now be taken, probably maybe small markets will be opened, because I think the Wuse market has not been opened still till now.
And that is one big commercial hub in FCT.
So imagine the day they actually open it up, it means everybody will be there.
I think if they want to open it, they should not just open it all at once. Let them sequence it so that there will be that, to an extent, restriction of how people will move into it, so that the guideline of social distancing will not be in vain.
Yeah, I think yesterday we had the announcement of Mr. Gambari to be Professor Gambari to be the new chief of staff
after the sad departure of
Abba
former chief of staff
due to COVID-19. So you see, COVID-19 is
actually hamper development, both humanly and materially, economically, across every sector. The whole thing is causing ravage.
Mr. Gambari was born in Ilorin, Kwara State on November 24th, 1944. He attended King's College, Lagos for his secondary education and subsequently attended the London School of Economics, where he obtained his bachelor's degree in economics with specialization in international relations. He picked up a career in teaching, which he began in 1969 at City University of New York before working at University of Albany. He also taught at Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria, Kaduna State. Mr. Gambari later obtained his MA in 1970 and PhD in 1974, degrees from Columbia University. Quite interesting. New York, USA in Political Science International Relations. Also, between 1986 and 1989, he was a visiting professor at 3 universities in Washington, D.C., Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies, Georgetown University, and Howard University. Mr. Gambari was a research fellow at the Brookings Institute, also in Washington, D.C., and a resident scholar at the Bellagio Study and Conference Center, the Rockefeller. I'm very sorry for the way I'm pronouncing this name, it's not my language. Foundation-run center in Italy. Mr. Gambari was a renowned diplomat who represented Nigeria in several international interfaces. He served as the Minister for External Affairs between 1984 and 1985, when Mr. Buhari was the military head of state. He was the chairman of the UN Special Committee Against Apartheid between 1990 and 1994. He was also one of the 5 members of the Independent Eminent Experts on the implementation of the Durban Declaration and Program of Action and the responsibilities at the world body between 1990 and 2012. He holds a record being the longest serving Nigerian ambassador to the United Nations from 1990 to 1999 and serving under 5 heads of state and presidents. He was appointed UN Under-Secretary General by late Kofi Annan.
Late Kofi Annan of Ghana.
Yeah. You see, the profile of Professor Gambari is quite watery there.
Mouth-watering and very beautiful.
Yes. Lots of speculations were being made about the different persons that may possibly take over Abakari.
And he was nowhere near that list initially, so nobody saw this coming.
Baba Ghana was there, and some of the names.
The current Minister of Education, FCT Minister,
Adamu.
Among several other names.
Yes,
they actually speculated.
Nobody actually thought to Professor Gambari's place. And I think the Emir of Ilorin has actually come out to thank the president, although we haven't received confirmatory.
Yeah, exactly the point I want us to bring up. In as much as this is not totally official yet, but we are privy to the information that the announcement might be made at the Federal Executive Council meeting today. But regardless, like you said, the profile of the man in question, it's very, very beautiful. Yeah. And then people actually seen him as a very intelligent man who has actually served at different capacities, serving different people, then the longest serving Nigerian ambassador to the UN, and then being appointed by people outside the country leaves you with more than enough to ponder on concerning this man. But we are looking at it from this angle, from the reactions of Nigeria that actually got this info, or had a sneak peek into this info yesterday. People are looking for when we deserve digital leadership, and then we having somebody, a septuagenarian, coming to at the helm of affairs at a sensitive position as the chief of staff. Yeah. But the other angle Nigerians are looking at it from is the fact that we agree that way back then things were better than now probably because of corruption to a large extent, mismanagement of funds and all that. So if we actually got things better or got it right from way back then, Nigerians are saying that okay, whoever will get the job done is what is needed. And then another angle Nigerians are looking at this particular rumored appointment from is the fact that okay, people never thought of Mr. President going to far away Kwara State to pick someone to be his new chief of staff. That position very sensitive. Like when we were looking at when Nigerians were trying to criticize the late chief of staff was doing. Some Nigerians feel he was doing too much. And then we try to look at the responsibilities attached to the office of the chief of staff. And virtually you see that the responsibility placed on that office makes it important and make it very, very burdening for him that he virtually becomes who does almost everything for the president. Whatever he was doing was not really out of point. Exactly. That's the truth. But the thing is that we're waiting for a confirmatory announcement. And we just hope that Nigerians will enjoy the wealth of his experience, which he will deploy to make sure that things will get things right in this country. Congratulations in advance. If it is confirmed. When it is confirmed. Professor Gambari.
Okay, we have Susan Achi in the building this morning. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning, Mercy. Good morning, Elvis.
Hope you're doing fine.
Of course, I'm doing great.
She's always looking fine.
She's always looking smile and smiling.
Okay.
Always smiling, despite all odds.
Well, a lot happening in the news, of course. COVID-19, trending. But we've got some juicy news away from COVID-19 today.
Okay.
Some interesting news. Moving away from the whole virus.
Truly, when I was actually going through some of my tabs, I saw that a whole lot had actually been happening. With, the likes of EFCC cases and every other thing that will actually sway Nigerians' attention away from COVID-19, which will actually bring some level of relief.
Yeah. I hear Chinese, I hear bribery, I want to hear more.
Anyways, we'll go to the news desk and get more details. Good morning and welcome to AM News. I am Susan Achin. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, the NCDC, has confirmed 146 new cases of the novel coronavirus, bringing the country's total infections to 4,787 cases. Of the total number of cases, 959 patients have recovered and been discharged, while 158 deaths have been recorded so far. The Madagascar herbal remedy for COVID-19 will be subjected to the normal regulatory processes before it will be administered for use in Nigeria. This was disclosed on Tuesday by the National Coordinator of the Presidential Task Force, PTF, on COVID-19, Sani Aliyu, while addressing journalists in Abuja, the nation's capital. Aliyu said following the presidential directive that the herbal remedy be airlifted to Nigeria, it will be subjected to stringent regulatory process within the legal frameworks of the country. Members of the House of Representatives have called on the federal government to intervene and immediately halt the repatriation of the Almajiri children to their states of origin. This formed part of the resolutions of the lawmakers during Tuesday's plenary at the lower chamber of the National Assembly in Abuja. They made the call following a motion sponsored by a member of the House, Aishatu Duku. According to Duku, the repatriation of Almajiri children is against the fundamental human right of any Nigerian to reside in any part of the country. She also expressed concerns over the mode of transportation the children were subjected to, describing it as dehumanizing, stressing that the children were packed into a vehicle in the scorching sun. The House also resolved to urge the northern governors to ensure that the Almajiri children were captured in the universal basic and technical education system. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has arrested 2 Chinese for offering the sum of 100 million naira as bribe to the zonal head of the anti-graft agency in Sokoto State, Mr. Abdullahi Lawal. The agency disclosed this in a series of tweets on Tuesday, noting that the arrest was made on Monday in Sokoto. According to the EFCC, the sum was allegedly offered in a desperate bid to compromise ongoing investigations of a construction company, China Zhongao Nigeria Limited, which was handling contracts awarded by the Zamfara state government in the sum of 50 billion naira between 2012 to 2019. Meanwhile, there is some good news as the Sokoto state government has announced the discharge of 41 COVID-19 patients from its Amanawa Isolation Center after they tested negative twice for the virus. The State Commissioner for Health, Muhammad Ali Iname, revealed this to newsmen during a press briefing in Sokoto on Tuesday. Nigeria's leading laundry care manufacturer Henkel has donated cartons of Nitol antibacterial detergents to frontline healthcare workers in Lagos State. This forms part of the company's support to government-led efforts in curbing the spread of COVID-19 in the most populous city in Africa. The donation, according to Henkel, is part of its support to the nurses in the state in mitigating the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic and alleviating the risks associated with their exposure to patients undergoing treatment in the state. Well, it's again great to know that 33 patients in Lagos have recovered and have now been discharged. This brings the total number of recoveries to 502, according to the Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, in a tweet on Tuesday. We now move into the world of business, where the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, says the country's apex bank is developing a framework through which it can provide financial support to achieve a Nigerian COVID-19 vaccine. Mr. Emefiele said this at the unveiling of this Day Dome Testing, Tracing and Treatment Center on Tuesday in Abuja. The This Day Dome is expected to improve health facilities available to combat the viral disease. And on the entertainment scene, Nigerian singer Kingsley Okonkwo, popularly known as Casey, has welcomed a bouncing baby boy. The Limpopo crooner, who took to his social media page to share the good news with fans and followers, described himself as one of the luckiest persons on earth. The father of three revealed that his wife welcomed the newborn baby on Tuesday, May 12, 2020, stating that the delivery happened to fall on his wife's birthday as well. Well, it says congratulations to Casey and his family. And that's it on AM News. I am Susan Achin.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, from all of us at Daybreak Africa.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Like he said, he's one of the few luckiest people, lucky people. Especially, I find it very unique when a mother and a child share the same birthday.
It's beautiful.
It's a very
it's a surreal experience.
Yeah.
And then Casey having three now, I think he's actually training his brother, E-Money. Like the family is actually.
Yes, and when I saw
E-Money
the
was
pictures,
actually in the news recently for some stuff.
Yeah,
where
they
they stopped. They call them bouncers or police escorts.
Yeah, the police.
And I think the police, Nigerian police, actually ordered the withdrawal of these people.
Yes,
They're
they did.
to probe and all that.
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look at House of Reps and Senate reacting to the guidelines regarding the Almajiris when there's an interstate ban, and then we have Almajiris being moved from one state to another.
Yes, and very the main issue was the fact that they are saying that this is a violation, of the constitution, in that people have human rights, because in Nigeria we have the right to live in any state, except of course in cases of maybe irregularities, which I mean at that point the authorities can step in. But as it is, the Aishatu Duku, who sponsored that particular, was actually saying that they are violating their rights and they are being subjected to, dehumanizing treatment. Can imagine them being packed,
the way they pack them in the vehicle, But if they say they have gone to their families, does it really matter?
That bad? Because I'm looking at the fact that these are little kids that actually need the attention of their parents. They are really tender. Most of them are small children.
Yes.
So is it wrong if they are with their parents, and they bond? Wouldn't that be?
Why so many eyebrows are being raised to this issue at the moment is the fact of the travel ban on interstate and then the movement of these people.
At this time, why now?
We're having at the moment.
Yes.
Well, the deed has been done.
Yes, and they're talking about it, including them in the universal basic education system and also technical. And for me, that is one thing that gladdens my heart, because these children lack a high level of education.
True, very true.
Which actually turn out to bring out so many societal issues.
Yes.
Because they are the people that get brainwashed and being recruited to some vulnerable.
They're like tools being used for
basically
unnecessary
society.
Yes.
Okay. And talking about donations and Henkel coming out to donate things to healthcare workers in Lagos, it's good to know that people are still being patriotic even in this period, because we need all the patriotic and all the donations we need. We need them right now.
Yes,
so that's a very applaudable one.
Catholic bishops have also, done a huge donation of
400 hospitals across Nigeria.
Across the country.
We've seen religious bodies actually donated their worship centers, isolation centers.
As well as well-to-do individuals.
Imagine many more people coming out this way and not thinking the other way. This will be over.
Let's take a look at the activities of the anti-graft agencies in recent times. It was not long ago we heard about, do I call it, not funny though, because I like it when we look inward to see that some of the little things we do are not pushed aside.
Yes.
When an anti-graft agency in Makurdi actually arrested somebody because of 100 naira.
Yes.
According to the report,
funny at that time.
According to the report, the person was supposed to pay 1.5 and then she paid 1.6, and then there was no
trying not to laugh right now.
Is it funny?
And now coming from this other angle where Chinese people have been arrested.
A larger sum of money.
Chinese. Too much.
100
million.
Yes. It's a very sad thing, and we keep talking about this part of the world always being associated with corruption and all that. But if it's coming from outside,
an outsider that's coming inside the country, that means he has been really very polluted with
we might just even look at it like it's just simple bribery issue, but it has to do with contract being awarded.
Yes.
So if someone is ready to part away with the sum of 100 million, just imagine how much
more you must have looted from that. I think the duration of way particularly.
Yes, it's way bigger than what we even seen. it's a whole lot of things happening, and it's good that we are probing these issues at this time. I don't know, COVID-19 has a way of
bringing out so many things.
You know, a lot of
in
things.
as much as we're trying to look at COVID-19 exposing differences, let's not forget the tough stance of president on corruption issues.
Yes.
Against corruption.
Yes. I think we've always been applauding him on that already. Very commendable.
And we're actually seeing results. You know, the Abacha loot issue, we're talking about it the other day. So many things are happening, and we hope that we can recover more of this lost funds.
And use the channel judiciously used
the right
and they should organize their committees to make sure that people are seeing the implementation of this on other projects in Nigeria.
Yes.
Thank you.
Of course. Very interesting one there, but we have to move across Africa for some more news. Stay with us.
Coronavirus no be our friend, yo. Make we push am comot, yo. Corona, he no be our friend, yo. Say make we push am comot, yo. My country people, you see this coronavirus no be joke. Make we help ourselves and our government pursue this yama sickness from our country. Make we remember to wash our hand every time with soap and water. Make we no forget to sanitize our hand and wear face mask when we dey come out. Also, make we avoid crowd and keep social distancing when we come out. My people, if you see say you don't dey get symptoms, make you rush go hospital make dem treat you. Coronavirus no be our friend though. Make we remember say prevention better pass cure. Coronavirus no be our friend though. Make we push am comot, yo. Corona, he no be our friend. Say make we push am comot, yo.
Are you coming in? Sorry for that. We bring you across Africa tomorrow. For now, it's newspaper reviews with myself and Elvis Olga. So in case you're just joining us, this is still Daybreak Africa here on television Nigeria. Elvis, which newspaper should we be looking at?
Can we start with The Nation newspaper, even though we have a whole lot of stories making around the entire country? But let's see headlines from The Nation newspaper.
Okay.
The banner headline we have from this publication says, "Private hospitals to the rescue as virus case rise." Buhari settles for Gambari as Kyari's replacement. That is below the picture story. And above the nameplate, we have Nigerian UAE returnee dies of coronavirus in isolation.
Nigeria's youth, that's Dubai.
Yeah. Those people that were repatriated from Dubai, recall that they were supposed to be kept in isolation center for 14 days before they are allowed to go reunite with their families. Okay. So one of them actually died in
the isolation center. I'm trying to recall. I thought the people that came from Dubai were actually all tested immediately.
Yeah, even after being tested,
they still left them
in the isolation center because you need to undergo that isolation for 14 days, which is the incubation period for this virus. Before your status is actually known.
I find that story very contradicting because they claimed all of them tested negative before they were left in the isolation center. So how can someone now be dying because of?
Probably he was asymptomatic. The person was asymptomatic.
That's me. Anyway, what other headlines?
Private hospital to the rescue as virus case rise. Recall that we're talking about if we can see that collaboration between the
private
public and the public.
Yes.
And the government actually thought in that line, and then they were trying to look at it. Okay, these people need to get some level of authorization from the appropriate authorities before they are allowed to go into such practices.
Okay. Let's check out the Guardian newspaper. Why Nigeria should avoid Madagascar's COVID-19 drug. We must try our own formulations first. PSN insists. PDP seeks adoption of local remedies. We are in a hurry to get homegrown cure, says federal government. Buhari may appoint Gambari as chief of staff today. That's today being Wednesday.
We actually give an
insight to that today. Why Nigeria should avoid Madagascar's COVID-19 cure, and PDP is seeking adoption of local remedies. We have talked much about the Madagascar cure, and I think we came to sort of a conclusion that Madagascar's cure, Nigeria's homemade cure, the end result we want to get is that we see people recovering from COVID-19.
Yes.
So we can't halt a cure or a remedy that has been sent for just because we want our local people. Our people will still come out with their own remedies. But I mean, meanwhile, before then, let's go on with the Madagascar's cure.
If you really want to share the same thoughts with the people that are actually clamoring for this, you might want to see from the angle that, they actually try to see how we could boost the patronage of this locally made cure for COVID-19. Like you said, even though we are clamoring for the patronage of the local cure,
before then,
let's go with the Madagascar aspect.
Yes.
But recall that we had 2-3 people come out to say that they have something similar. So I think they are trying to say, let's look inward first before we look outward. But the federal government actually came from another angle to say they are desperate and they are looking into that real fast. So we're all saying this.
This is a timely, time-conscious something.
So that headline was actually screaming. When I saw it, I thought they were going to say it had some implications.
Yes. Probably we should understand what's going on. Side effects.
If it's coming from the angle of trying to see that we up the patronage of the local ones, is good. But like you said, at the long run, let's know that it's a cure and we see people recover faster in large numbers.
First things first.
Okay, I'm from the Daily Sun. Senate gives IGP, that is Inspector General of Police, marching order on interstate travels. Below, still on that, we have charges him to sit up on enforcement. Says military police orders overwhelmed by insecurity. Recall when we talked about the reps hinting on their marginal issues on the news with Susan. Yes, the Senate actually coming with this. This is going also in line with the guidelines by the executive arm of the government, that is the Presidential Task Force. So if all the arms of the government are saying the same thing and we see how we could work in harmony to achieve this, it will go a long way in curbing the spread of coronavirus.
I think this still boils down to communication. The government is communicating, the Senate is communicating, House of Assembly is communicating. But the security personnel, I don't know, are you communicating? That's the thing. Let's go to the Punch newspaper. Nigeria's picking face mask from dump sites, PTF cries out. Wow. State private hospitals in Lagos get coronavirus accreditation. Panel deploys pathologist over Bauchi Jigawa strange deaths. 6 days after arrival, Dubai returnee dies of COVID-19 in Lagos. Okay? Lagos, below that, Lagos woman drowns daughter in buckets of water. So, different things are still happening.
Different things, but the one that actually caught my attention is Nigerian speaking face mask from dump site.
Well, you know, we talk about, in this part of the world, we talk about poverty a lot. We talk about how people are suffering, the percentage of the poor masses. Now, probably they're scared about the virus. They're scared about how the outcome is playing out, and probably they don't have access to this face mask. They don't have enough money to get this face mask, because these days I see most of the women hawking on the road with handkerchiefs, and they tie their nose and their mouth. But somehow, this is where the government still comes in.
Like this actually lend more voice to the cry and plea and plight of Nigerians that the palliatives we've been shouting should not just be limited to just money,
food packages or money.
Like hand sanitizers, the face masks. I love the angle you came in from where you said the poverty rate actually showing its ugly
That's
face.
what it's showing its ugly face now. It's making us realize that, we have the poorest people in this part of the world that will not be able to access face mask.
I'm just imagining what Susan would have said if she's here. She will talk about communication. Yes, these people are actually scared of coming face to face with this virus.
Yes, they're scared. That's why they can go as far as picking it up from the dump side.
Well, that is even it
means they are aware.
Yeah, they are aware.
Yes,
but they are not really aware if
that is even more.
Picking it from the dump side is more risky.
It's actually more risky.
There's another story actually picked from there that I would want us to take a look at.
Okay, which is it? The Lagos woman that drowned her daughter in the bucket of water.
Yeah, like for what?
I think that's on page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper, so you can go check it out and read it.
Okay, I'm from the business day. Why investors prefer Egypt to Nigeria amid coronavirus pandemic? And then beside the picture story, Buhari disappoints speculators. Unveils Gambari today as new chief of staff. Like we were talking about speculations about different names, and Professor Gambari was nowhere close to the picture. And then out of the blues,
we're hearing Professor Gambari.
But if you really do if you go through the profile of this man, well, like you actually put it out earlier on the show, you see that he has a very big wealth of experience that Nigeria could actually harness or tap into if he's given the chance. So
he has all what it takes. He has all the Nigerians are looking for.
And then see how we could get it more right.
Okay. This is the Daily Times newspaper. Madagascar cure will pass stringent testing processes, the PTF says. I think Madagascar cure is topping almost all the newspaper today. Well, we know they have to pass through due process for us to confirm that it will be okay for our people as well. Should we say there should be a difference in the system of Nigerians and the Madagascars?
You know, when you're talking about ailment and treatment, a whole lot of factors come into play, like the environment, and then the kind of weather, the kind of food we eat, and like you said, the immune system, where you can actually see difference. Okay, if you even look at the rate of the COVID-19, you see that men actually tested positive more than women. Like we've seen, like I think the record that the statistic put out were about 30% for the women, 70% for the men, and then within across different age range, and then you have to see the life expectancy in these different countries as well, and several other factors will be laid side by side. So for the presidential task force to say it will be subjected to stringent measures of test, it's actually a good one. I think I was very happy when I saw the health minister come out to talk about the different tests that these things will undergo to see that, okay, there's no side effect, or if there's side effect, what can we use to manage these things? That's the sure way to go. Okay,
we'll see how that goes. We wait for the Madagascar's cure to come. So we know the outcome of it in Nigeria, although we haven't heard of it in other parts of Africa, how they've used it and how far with the results at the end of the day. This is still Daybreak Africa here on television Nigeria. Let's go to health desk now and see healthy living. Tips on healthy living. Thank you.
Coronavirus no be our friend, yo. Make we push am comot, yo. Corona, he no be our friend, yo. Say make we push am comot, yo. My country people, you see this coronavirus no be joke. Make we help ourselves and our government pursue this yamayama sickness from our country. Make we remember to wash our hand every time with soap and water. Make we no forget to sanitize our hand and wear face mask when we come out. Also, make we avoid crowd and keep social distancing when we come out. My people, if you say you don't get symptoms, make you rush go hospital make them treat you. Coronavirus no be our friend though. Make we remember say prevention better pass cure. Coronavirus no be our friend though. Make we push am come out yo. Corona no be our friend, say make we push am come out, yo. Coronavirus no be our friend, yo. Make we push am come out, yo. he no be our friend. Say make we push am come out to you. My country people, you see this coronavirus, no be joke. Make we help ourselves and our government pursue this yama sickness from our country. Make we remember to wash our hand every time with soap and water. Make we no forget to sanitize our hand and wear face mask when we come out. Also, make we avoid crowd and keep social distancing when we come out. My people, if you see say you don't get symptoms, make you rush go hospital make them treat you. Coronavirus no be our friend though. Make we remember say prevention better pass cure. Coronavirus no be our friend.
Welcome to another episode of Healthy Living. Today I'll be talking on foods that boost children's brains. A child's brain undergoes an amazing period of development from birth to 3, producing more than 1 million neural connections each second. The development of the brain is influenced by many factors. As fast as children race from classroom to activity to home and back again, their brains are just as rapidly growing and changing. The foods that they eat are important. These years are critical for brain development, and what they eat affects focus and cognitive skills. Want your child to do better in school? Take a close look at diet. Certain brain foods help boost a child's brain growth and improve brain function, memory, and concentration. Eggs. Eggs are a rich source of protein and also contain good amounts of chlorine, a nutrient that is necessary for the proper function and development of the brain. One of the best facts is that eggs are extremely versatile. The protein and nutrients in eggs help kids concentrate. Fish. Fish is a good source of vitamin D and omega-3-5, which protect the brain from declining mental skills and memory loss. Salmon, tuna, and sardines are all rich in omega-3-5. The more omega-3-5 we can get to the brain, the better it will function and the better kids will be able to focus. Apples and plums. Kids often crave sweets, especially when they are feeling sluggish. Apples and plums are lunchbox friendly and contain quercetin, an antioxidant that may fight decline in mental skills. Milk and yogurt. Milk and yogurt also provide a bigger punch with both protein and carbohydrates, the preferred source of energy for the brain. Milk contains vitamins that benefit the neuromuscular system and the overall life cycle of human cells. Lean beef, meat. Iron is an essential mineral that helps kids stay energized and concentrate at school. Lean beef is one of the best absorbed sources of iron. In fact, just 1 ounce per day has been shown to help the body absorb iron from other sources. Beef also contains zinc, which helps with memory. For vegetarians, black bean and soy burgers are great iron-rich meatless options. Beans are an important source of non-heme iron, a type of iron that needs vitamin C to be absorbed. Eat tomatoes, red bell pepper, orange juice, strawberries, and beans to get the most iron. Avocado. Avocado is full of monounsaturated fats, the good fats that kids actually need in their diet every day. In fact, it's recommended that 25 to 30% of kids' calories come from fats, primarily the unsaturated ones. Avocado goes over well with kids when served as a spread on wraps in place of mayonnaise or cream cheese. Ripe avocado is a perfect baby food spoon straight out of its peel. Sweet potato. This pod is one of the most nutritious vegetables around. The vitamin A in sweet potatoes keeps eyes healthy and acts like an antioxidant in the body. Sweet potatoes are a favorite among babies because of their natural sweetness and bright color, but they are often forgotten once kids get older. Finally, water. Although not a food nor containing any nutrients, water is important for hydration, which helps to maintain blood flow and oxygen transport to all parts of the body. Dehydration can cause lethargic irritability and reduced ability to stay alert and concentrate. And that is the much we have for you on today's episode of Healthy Living.
Welcome back. This is still Daybreak Africa here on Television Nigeria.
And that was tips on healthy living, particularly on food that helps the development of the children's brain.
Yes. Over the weekend, Governor Wike demolished some hotels
in River State.
And
a lot of reactions has been trailing that. So we'll go to Street Grid and see the reactions of people on that.
It is evil. There is no law that permits him for him to do what he has done. It is very, very bad. If the man will take him to the law court, the man sue him, the man win the case, he will use the government money to build the house even more. So it is not good. What he's doing, it is pure evil, satanic, barbaric. It is evil. It's wrong.
You should have penalized them and not demolish. So demolition means there's another thing behind the demolition.
Wike, I think there are laws in place to follow. You don't just rush. For him rushing, I think he acted too fast.
He wrote the court in motion against the government of River State. That's what he should do. That's the only right a citizen has. That's the only democratic step to take. He will roll the law in motion against the government of River State for demolition of his property.
This politics anyway.
The decision taken by River State Governor Wike to demolish hotel for disobeying lockdown order, is it a right step?
That's a very controversial issue currently. I know a lot of people are reacting differently to it. But it's dicey. It's a two-way thing. There's a need to keep law and order. There's a need to respect the rule of law also. The demolition, I don't think it was a proper thing to do, because when these rules came out, even as an executive order in River State, there were laid down, laid down metrics of implementation of that particular order. So I don't know whether it was not being too Draconian, or it was not, more of what I call an executive pride when the governor goes to implement that on his own. He could have fall onto anybody. Yes, in a time like this, people running such outlet, running such facility at the level they were doing it based on the reports, is not proper, but it's not ideal to do that demolition like that. So as a person, I'm speaking for myself, and I also think that it's not in line with the rule of law. Whatsoever it is, it's an issue of doing things the legal way or doing things an illegal way. So if he has an ulterior motive, based on him, the owner of that particular facility is a a youth leader, a PDP youth leader in a certain part of LMA local government. So if it was for personal reasons, then you can say that it should be in his own group and all that. But he has come out to say that he doesn't have any personal grievances against the owner of the place, but it's just that the rule of law needs to, orders need to be kept.
Now, a lot of
Facility and all that. But at that, he has also passed a statement on upholding the rule of law here. So he has been able to prove it there that when you get things wrong, anything can come up out of it. You understand? So what he could actually do now, I don't know if he has anything directly to do, but it's on the side of the person whose rights have been breached, because the owner of that facility has a right to own properties. In as much as he, was doing the wrong thing, I don't know if the penalty would have, gotten to the extent of demolishing that place in an economic time as this.
If you're the owner of your tenant, what are you going to do?
At least, anytime something like this come up, he will roll the court in motion against the government of River State. That's what he should do. That's the only right a citizen has. That's the only democratic step to take. He will roll the law in motion against the government of River State for demolition of his property. It's a very huge economic damage on him.
To be really followed, because it has to do with, as it is entrenched in the Constitution of Nigeria, if the offenders, did they violate the law? If they actually violated the law.
Welcome back. Okay, welcome back. This is still Daybreak Africa on Television Nigeria. You heard reactions of Nigeria as regarding demolition of hotels in River State by the state governor, the person of Nyesom Wike.
Yeah, some call it demonic.
And some feeling like maybe he has ulterior motives. And like we talked about it the other day, the governor has the right to institute an executive order, especially when we keep talking about desperate situations, demand or warrant desperate measures. And we're actually looking at it from that angle. But what we Nigerians are actually looking at it is the fact that if there are executive orders, there should be guidelines for penalties in regard or with regard to violation of those guidelines.
Yes. So the question was demolition among those guidelines? The penalties
for violating the guidelines. That's what people are actually looking at. And then we've seen from different quarters where people were asking him that he should not be behaving like Rivers State is a republic of its own. It's still subject to federal powers.
Yes. So we wait for federal powers intervention.
Not really. Some people have actually come out to tell the man in question to pursue the case legally, maybe giving or just suing to court or reporting the matter to appropriate authorities like the court of law and all.
Okay, let's see how that goes. Okay, let's go around Africa and see the 10 countries that you should probably visit one of these days. Not now, after COVID-19.
Beat.
Okay, welcome back. This is still Daybreak Africa and Television Nigeria. We're sorry for the 10 African countries that was not being visited, but we're back to Nigeria.
But before then, I saw a natural Africa on the screen where a whole lot of wildlife were being shown. And I saw beautiful animals like the bull, the zebra,
the elephant, the Wakanda people.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of footage from that. And that's good. Africa is a very beautiful country, very diverse in nature. And
highly blessed with natural resources.
And beautiful people like Elvis Oga.
And
myself. Panok.
When you talk about beautiful people and I look at you, I'll be like, why would they say Ethiopian people are one of the most beautiful races when we have beautiful faces like Messi Joe in Nigeria? Nigeria should be unknown.
We're on TV. We're on TV. Don't do that. Okay, that's how much we can take for today on the program Daybreak Africa. This has been a nice time. And Elvis, what do you have to say? Your last words to people.
Okay, we keep talking about guidelines as regards COVID-19. I think we've gone beyond the normal hands washing, use of sanitizer.
Yeah.
We are now looking at more stringent measures or guidelines, like when you step out, make sure that you don't have much money that will need changes being given back to you. Like if you want to purchase something, try as much as possible to have the exact amount or better resort to cashless
society.
Cashless.
I think we've been talking
situation.
about cashless policy.
And then when you come back, don't forget to remove your clothes, wash them, remove your shoe at the entrance of your house, disinfect the shoes as well, so that we can fight this virus to a standstill. My name is Elvis Oga. Let's do this again tomorrow.
All right. Stay safe. My name is Messi Joe.
Now the match don't start. Tunde na him first catch coronavirus. Him pass am to Sarah. Sarah go market and she dash Adamu. Adamu carry the virus run come give him children for house. Now so the children carry the virus enter playground. From playground, it can't enter grandpa body. Grandpa take over, pass and give him friends as they shake hand for road. Now so grandpa friends carry coronavirus go their house. Before you know, they don't throw away and give everybody for yard. Now so corona enter box 18 and he say goal! My people, if we give coronavirus chance, it go win all of us. Protect yourself and your family. Stay inside your house and make sure say you dey wash your hand with soap and water at least 12 times a day. If you get cough and fever and it dey hard you to breathe, call 0800 026 7662. Corona dey kill. Make we careful.